viewers. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, that is using ChatGPT code interpreter for search engine optimization analysis. Nowadays these two are actually the buzzwords, ChatGPT and SEO analysis, because anything you want to search on ChatGPT, you want to search on any website, that becomes very important when your engine is optimized. So how can you use ChatGPT in order to optimize your engine, in order to make your website more visible to people, in order to make your YouTube channel more visible to people, in order to make your blogs more visible to people? So even though this has nothing to do with custom GPT, but we can use the actual paid version of GPT to do that. So without wasting any time, let's go on to the topic and let's talk about how to activate the ChatGPT code interpreter. Well, before we start any big analysis, let's see how to activate the code interpreter in ChatGPT. So just keep in mind that you need to have the paid plan of ChatGPT. It's not very expensive if you really want to use it for search engine optimization, to make your YouTube page more effective, to make your blogs more visible to the readers, get a lot of viewers, then you need to pay the cost. So the step one is to click on the three dots that are visible on the very left bottom corner. So when you click on these three dots, you have to enable the code interpreter in the settings. You got to go into the settings, and this green button, you have to enable it, right? So when you enable it, the code interpreter is now enabled in your ChatGPT. In the step 3, you have to activate the code interpreter plugin. So how do you do that? You will simply click on the GPT-4 tab and activate the plugin. So here you can see that if this does not work, you might need to log out and re-log in and do a hard refresh of the browser. Like you have to press the control button and you have to press the R button. So you have simply logged out of ChatGPT and you have logged in ChatGPT again. So now after this re-logging in, you will activate the code interpreter plugin. Once the code interpreter plugin is enabled, then code interpreter is activated. So you will see a plus sign here, right? A plus icon should appear in your inbox, right? To this place where this red arrow is placed. So this is where you would upload your data. So now we are going to talk about how to get SEO data for analysis. For the purpose of this exercise, currently I'm using Ahrefs to get my keyword research data. I'm using their keyword explorer to do some keyword research. Using this tool is outside the scope of this blog post, but there are many articles on that. You can also use their fantastic documentation and blog that how are we going to use this tool. But right now we will simply do these steps for SEO. So step 1 is conduct your keyword research and export. For my use case, I started with some list of keywords of interest to my company. Say for example, it can be Ahref is a company. So what is the point of interest to Ahrefs? You have to got to know that. So then click on export. When you write all those keywords, for example, whatever the words are, you got to write them here and you have to press on export. You have to make sure that you use Excel export. While code interpreter seems to be able to handle many different formats, I have observed that using Excel had best results. So you have to click this for Microsoft Excel. You have to select this and you have to export this Excel file to CSV file. How to analyze the Excel data in code interpreter? Now that's a question. Now that we have code interpreter enabled and have our data, let's get started. Step 1 is to upload the data using the plus icon. Notice how the code interpreter loads the data and even autocorrects some data cleanliness issues. For us data analysts, this is a huge time saver, since data cleanliness and dealing with data issues usually takes the most time. In my specific use case, it automatically went through 3 rounds of autocorrections before the data was loaded. So you can see here it is loading the data. ChatGPT is loading the data. Here is some keyword analysis I exported from Ahrefs using their keyword explorer tool. Please analyze this data so that we can do some search engine optimization analysis on it. So I have written this message for ChatGPT, okay, and I have uploaded this data. Google US custom GPT list overview of 2023. ChatGPT is answering me, sure, I'll start by loading the data so we can take a look at its structure and the information it contains. Let's do this. Okay, so after this, notice how it autocorrected the data and started cleaning it. It appears that the file couldn't be read because of an encoding issue. This can happen when a file isn't encoded in a format that matches the expected encoding, in this case UTF-8. The file may be encoded in a different format. I try a few different common encodings like ISO 8859 and Windows 1252. See if we can successfully read the file. The file couldn't be read due to a parsing error this time. This can happen when the structure of the file doesn't match the default expectations of the read CSV function. It seems that the file might not be standard CSV file. It might be using a different delimiter, or it could have irregularities in the number of columns per rows. Let's try reading the file. So this is the entire conversation from the ChatGPT. So if your step 1 is actually done, like you have uploaded the data correctly, then you come on to step 2, and in the step 2 you examine the summary. Well, now that the data is loaded, the code interpreter will provide a summary of the data. Take a look and confirm that it has successfully understood it. So you see on the screen, great, we have successfully loaded the data. Here's a summary of the columns and a preview of the data. Hash, this appears to be a ranking or ID column. Keyword, the keyword that's been analyzed. Country, the country for which the keyword analysis is relevant. Difficulty, a score indicating how difficult it would be to rank for this keyword. Okay, in step 3, run your prompt. Now that the data is loaded, you can give it your awesome prompts. In my case, my prompt was pretty simple. Excellent. Now based on this data, act as an expert search engine optimization analyst and do a full SEO analysis, and let me know what blog posts I should write. Give me the 10 article ideas based on this analysis. So this is what I am telling to ChatGPT. Excellent. Okay, so what ChatGPT is telling me as an answer: as an SEO analyst, the goal is to identify high opportunity keywords that can target to drive more traffic to your site. We want to find keywords that have high search volumes, relatively low difficulty scores, and high potential traffic. We can then use these keywords to suggest topics for blog posts. The strategy is to target keywords that are more achievable to rank for lower difficulty. Let's start with the analysis. So in this way, ChatGPT has done an analysis for me. Based on the analysis, here are the top 2 keywords that stand out: AI chatbot and chatbot AI. These keywords have a relatively low difficulty score, 78, high volume, 49,000 and 16,000, and high traffic. So for my specific search, ChatGPT has given me this answer, that these 2 keywords are maximum searched by people. So write a blog on these topics. Now in step 4, reprompt or chain of thought. If you don't like what it has given you, you can do your chain of thought prompting and revise the output as needed. Like for example, based on the analysis, the ChatGPT told me to use AI chatbot or chatbot AI keywords. Now I'm telling ChatGPT, give me something more. Let's use these keywords to create some blog post topics. Remember, the goal is to create content that is highly relevant. Here are some blog post ideas: the future of AI chatbots, how they are changing the game, building an AI chatbot, a comprehensive guide, the role of AI chatbots in customer services, etc. etc. These titles are designed to capture the interest of people. So, this is the answer of ChatGPT, right? In step 5, review your outputs. And here is the final output as marked down. For this, I just did this. Excellent. Please give this to me as a markdown table and also add other columns like slug and 160 character meta description. I will need to write my blog posts, so the ChatGPT will give you the answer in the form of a markdown table. SERP feature is saying that people also ask. Global volume is 5,900. Traffic potential is 1,000. Blog post title: Future of AI Chatbots. Slug: Future of AI Chatbots. Meta description: explore how AI chatbots are revolutionizing industries by offering advanced automated interactions. So this is a complete table. Frequently asked questions: is this a replacement for Excel? I would not recommend that. While Code Interpreter and ChatGPT is great at text analysis, it is not a replacement for good old numerical analysis. So, I'm not saying that ChatGPT is a replacement for Excel. It is good for text analysis. You are better off doing your secret sauce numerical analysis in Excel or Google Sheets and then using Code Interpreter for the parts that need text analysis. So, in the end, after telling you all the steps of how I'm doing this analysis for SEO optimization with ChatGPT, I'm going to give you some more thought process that Code Interpreter is mind-numbingly amazing at working with text fields. This analysis is of course amazing. Check out this analysis I did for a different use case where it was able to run advanced text classification techniques like thematic analysis, sentiment analysis, or even synthesizing patterns. Do I need to copy paste data into ChatGPT? No, of course no. This plus sign is used to upload your data. It can take files up to 100 MBs. In normal ChatGPT, which is not the paid version, you can copy paste data up to like 8 KB, right? But now in this paid version, you can go to up to 100 MBs. You can see it working, but wait, it says Code Interpreter. Is it only for code? No, it can analyze data too. As evidenced by this use case, OpenAI probably needs better naming, but it can do data analysis just fine. So if you like this post, do share